What's going on, guys? This is going to be work in progress number 8 so far. After the last test fitting of the frame, basically started sanding away. For the last 3 days I've been sanding the leg parts, and it's been fun because actually I can say none of this has really been a hard time. It's been pretty easy, straightforward, man. Just basically just had pore marks to deal with, and if you watch MVM 3897's video, he shows how to denub things and take off the pore marks and all sorts of good ways to sand down. Basically use that technique in order to get this the way I wanted it so far. It's loosely on there. Nothing's, oop, there goes the foot. Nothing's glued on. As you can see, there goes the foot right there. Just give me a second. We'll put it back together. Just trying to shift him around so we can see it on the front. But that's what we got going so far with the outer pieces. I still have these leg covers to go around the calf area, I guess, and the thruster parts, the vents, whatever you want to call these. They aren't like going to stay without either some kind of tack behind there, like blue tack, or maybe some well, eventually they're going to get glued, so we'll see. A lot of this stuff is very, very, very shaky right now, just because it's not pinned or glued. But it's fitting pretty good for just being on there, despite a few parts, man. But, you know, straightforward. This is what we're doing. This is where we're at. So, just wanted to show you what we're up to. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a little while. Hey, fellas, one quick more thing. Just to let you guys know what's been going on, how to sand this thing, what I've been doing. So, what you might need if you ever plan on tackling some resin is lots of sandpaper, and these kinds of putties right here were real helpful. We've got your Tamiya epoxy putty. That's for like shaping things, and it's more like a clay. You can make all sorts of cool stuff out of that. This is the smooth surface type. The green stuff here is the quick dry stuff. That's really, really fast dry. Normally it takes about, I don't know, 12 hours to 24 hours to set. This sets real quick. And, you know, that's for some really major repairs, or possibly even building pieces, you know, casting pieces, or just, you know, like I said, sculpting your own pieces. Real handy if you break something too sometimes. So, and then over here we got, this is a Gun Sanyo product, Mr. Dissolved Putty. I use this guy whenever I have a small pinhole in the resin, or, you know, something like that. Anything real tiny. This is already like basically putty that's been mixed with some kind of a thinning agent, and you can just basically use a paintbrush and paint over the hole. But it tends to kind of like dry and shrink down a lot, so you got to make sure that you know, come back, check it, sand it again, and then put a little bit more, because it tends to shrink pretty good, but it levels pretty good too. So I've been liking that for small repairs. And for filling seam lines, cracks, and big holes, you got some regular style putties right here. You got your Tamiya regular putty. I've been using that a lot. It's pretty good. This white putty is just about the same. It's just a different color, I think. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And for sanding things, we've been using, I just got some regular old 3M 400 grit sandpaper and some 3M 600, which I took Mr. MVM 3897's advice, and we made a bunch of sanding sticks here, different grits. You can rewash them after they get all gummed up and stuff. I've been doing that. These sticks have lasted a couple of days now so far. They've been pretty good. So to make those, just get some popsicle sticks. You can get them at your I guess a hardware store, or Michael's. I found these at Michael's, and they're real cheap. And just basically take some super glue, like he said, put it on there and wrap it around. They work great. Thanks, Matt, for that tip. That was very, very helpful. And then for, you know, for whatever other purposes, you can get some sanding sponges. I'm liking these right here. This goes from any grit from 1500 grit all the way up to 4000. So basically with this, all these outer parts, I'd use the file set that I got right here, and we kind of can show you right here. Got a couple of the hand pieces out. this is the, I guess, the back of the backhand right here. So let's see if you can see that nub sticking on top. That's called the pour mark. I just found that out recently because I'm a noob to resin, but I'm finding out more and more as I go along. Let's see if I can put the camera down and talk a little bit about this. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this on camera. So the nub mark is what you want to take off. So Matt said to basically take a Sharpie and basically mark around the edges like so on all the parts, and you got it marked. And then if you take your side cutters like this, it's hard to do on the camera, try to clip it down as close to the resin without going into the resin like so. And then you take a flat file. Let's see. Sorry guys. And you just start filing it down. I've never tried doing this on camera. I apologize for my really bad film quality on this. But I'm just trying to demonstrate how this works out. And I highly recommend using one of those masks. I'm not wearing it right now so I can talk to you guys. Kind of hard to talk to you guys when I'm doing something like this, or especially through a mask. It could sound like a wannabe Darth Vader and not even near as cool. And once you get close, I don't know if you can see that, you start going to your sanding stick. The flat sanding sticks work real great because, as you can see, this is a flat surface and you want it flush up to it. Basically what you want to get is that nub mark level with the black marks. And once you don't see any more black marks from the pen, that pretty much means you're level. And I still need to keep going, but basically that's the procedure. And then from basically after that, I've been hitting it up with finer grit sandpapers and moving my way up. What's been nice with this outer armor is there hasn't been much sludge, there hasn't been much flash, there hasn't been a lot. As I complained my ass off about the internal frame, the outer armor has been wonderful. As you can see, that's flat, I hope. And the little bit of marker that's left there, you can get that off by sanding. Plus this is going to hit primer and surfacer. So we still have that other nub right there, but that nub is pretty much all gone and everything is hunky-dory. It's flat, it's going to be smoother. Like I said, put that down. We'll go through these, and I usually just keep them in order. I start with the 1500, then it goes to 18, 2000 something, and then 3200, 3600, 4000. By the end of it, you can definitely tell the difference between the unsanded surface and the finished product. It's real nice and smooth, and I'm guaranteeing this is going to turn out real good. So moving right along. So also we can also talk about a couple more tools. These side cutters that you saw me use those to chop the nub mark off. That worked pretty good. Always get yourself a good file set. These are different various files. And this has been a lifesaver. My hook scriber has been saving me. This thing gets in there. You can help get sludge out. Any kind of panel line, you can scribe it down to make them deeper. This little guy right here is just some random tool. I use it to basically smooth out putty when I'm using the putty. And I did have a couple spots on this guy that needed putty in. It's hard to see it, but right here I managed to fix that using MVM 3897's version of sanding and using a little bit of putty, and it's fixed. So I guess I can't really complain about the outer armor. It's been great. I also suggest getting a really good knife set. You can't really go wrong with this. Just be careful with those big ones in the end. That big guy right there is the one I stabbed myself with. It was awesome. But yeah, this X-Acto set works good for trimming and cutting and stabbing yourself, you know, things like that. But yeah, that's where we're at, and thanks for guys for checking it out again. Appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in the next work in progress.